Hey guys, this is Mats from Circus Maximus. You're listening to Metal Wani.
So Mats, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll just start on a very simple note. How many years are you guys planning to take for next album?
Hopefully 5.
Wonderful. So 2016.
Nah, maybe a little later.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me that.
No. Actually, we're like we're way ahead at this time compared to where we were when we were writing 9. So
Okay.
it's going good. So we are like looking maybe earlier next year, I think.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's gonna be out through Frontiers?
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Okay, great. So 3 years. Yeah, that's a decent gap, nonetheless.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, you guys have been on tour as well. I think you toured extensively for 9.
Yeah, we have toured quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as we wanted, but we've toured some places that we've never been before, and
Nice.
revisited places we have been several times. So we are looking forward to going out and play with our upcoming album, and hopefully we will do much more touring than ever with that one.
That's awesome. Now, how difficult is it for you guys to manage your day job and then the band and gigs and multi-country tour and stuff? How difficult does it get?
Well, it's not easy because like almost everyone in the band except one has kids and families and stuff. So we have a lot of things to do at home and work and so it's quite busy. So we have to like make ends meet, and it's not that cheap to live here in Norway. So you have to work and you have to earn.
Cool. And I just had a chat with Michael, I think a month back. So
yeah, I know. Yeah.
He was telling me that you guys are writing stuff. So while having a discussion with him, he said something, and I quote. He said, if we take 10 good guitarists or 10 good guitar players, and out of these 10, there'll just be one person who will say, hey, this doesn't need a guitar solo. And you know who is that one person. It's none other than you. So, and he even put $1,000 bet that, okay, this is how Mats is. So you're the only guitar player in the band, and everybody knows that progressive metal is like a wide spectrum. A lot of things to explore, a lot of solos. So being the only member of the band, how difficult does it get for you to explore everything? Because it's all on your shoulders. So how difficult is it?
Well, I think it's quite easy. I think it's much more easy than having 2 guitars.
Really?
Yeah, I think so, because at least for me, I think it is, because I write most of the stuff on guitar.
Right.
And then I think about like the way you can like blend keyboards with the guitar.
True.
And so some of the times I write like keyboard stuff on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like maybe with 2 guitarists,
right,
it will like eventually would end up being on the keyboard. But I think it's much more easier if you want 1 guitarist than 2. I think so.
Right.
At least for me.
That's pretty evident, because I really like the chemistry you have with the keyboard player. I mean, you guys are in pretty much sync with each other, and while listening to the album, it doesn't feel like there's just one guitar. It has that rhythmic approach from your side as well as from the keyboardist side.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So how do you guys manage to sit down and write the keyboard parts and guitar parts together, and how's the flow, how's the songwriting in terms of keyboards and guitars?
Well, it's mainly on like passages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then we write like stuff together, but it's very like different from song to song. So sometimes I have like a guitar riff that I like and that I don't want to change.
Mm-hmm.
And then I send it over to Lasse, and he creates something on top of it or beneath it or within it that doesn't like do it worse, but makes it better, makes it a better riff.
True.
So not like intentionally like making the keyboard sound like I can hear the keyboard at first. Like I think it's more cool to like blend them together.
Right.
So it's they're like yeah.
That's wonderful. And on top of that, Michael adds his touch. So that basically creates everything.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And you guys are writing the new stuff, and I'm also aware that Glory of the Empire Part 2 is coming up. So
yeah, Michael said that.
Yeah, so come on, give us a spoiler. What's happening?
Well, the thing is that on Isolate, I started writing. I was thinking about maybe we should have a
Part 2
or Part 2 of the Glory of the Empire or something. But because we had like a lot more material to that song that we didn't use. But we did record. Actually, we recorded the drums for that song for 9.
Oh, cool!
But we didn't. We didn't think it would fit the other songs, so we saved it for later. So it's definitely coming, but I'm not sure if it will end up on the new album, but it will be released sometime. Yeah, it will.
So some way or the other, we get to hear it, be it through the next album or maybe some bonus track or something.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe a single. We don't really know. It will definitely come. So we have the drums recorded already. We have a lot of lyrics are ready for it. We have a lot of structures ready. We have a lot of arrangements, and I think it's very good. I think it will be do justice to the first one.
That's wonderful. Now, how I don't know how you're going to consider this, but let me tell you this. Do you realize, do you feel that you are very dangerously close to John Petrucci?
No.
Come on.
No, I don't really do it. I don't really think about that. Of course, I think he's a great player, but it's. I think we have a little different approaches. He is much more technical. He's much more technical than I am.
Right.
And I'm a little more maybe reserved in the soloing. It's a little more like I try to, like I said 100 times before in interviews. I think it's much more important to try to create a song.
Right.
Within the song with the soloing, just not shredding. To it, because I have like 8 bars that like saved for solo. Then I have to like do all the tricks in the book. I don't think it's about that. I think it's much more cool to have like a little song to it.
Right.
If not, then I would want to play solo.
That's cool. I was actually blown away with the kind of tasty progressive metal riffs on your debut album, and then you had your ex-keyboard player Espen also. So yeah. The combination was fantastic. And then when the new Lasse came into the picture, it just took it to just another level. So in terms of writing approach, do you guys plan ahead of how? What kind of material are you going to write? I mean, some sort of a concept in mind, or is it just free-flowing for you guys?
It's a little free-flowing, I think. It's more like we're not trying to reinvent something, and we're not trying to do anything we're not trying to create Isolate or the first chapter again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's. I don't think that's the way we should work. I think they are like from that time, and they still work good on their own.
Right.
I think it would be like shooting ourselves in the foot if we want to like do
right.
a new album like that. So I think it's because everyone in the band, we're not listening to the same thing that we're listening to then.
Uh-huh.
So like we will get influences from everything.
Right.
So it's not necessarily metal music, but it's good music. So I think we're so focused on just writing good music, not trying to put a label on ourselves and like now we're gonna write progressive metal music. I don't think we think about that. It's all about writing good songs, and that's it.
But that's evident because all three albums are similar yet are worlds apart. So it's like listening to the albums in different planets every time I plug into that.
Yeah.
And in terms of that, from the songwriting perspective, is it? I mean, how is it all constructed between you, your brother, and then Lasse, and then Michael? How's the concept and the flow in terms of writing?
Well, it's been a little different on every album. I think it's mainly I've written most of the parts, but that's like it's the way it's always been. It's so, but on 9, I think it was a little different than on Isolate.
Right.
Because I wrote most of the stuff at home, made a pre-production out of
demos.
On my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I just gave it to the guys and asked what they thought about it, and we used what we think was good enough, and then we, of course, they put their touch on it when we recorded it, of course.
Right.
So this time I'm not sure if it's going to be maybe a little similar to 9, but a little more even more cooperation with everyone, and
wow.
And that's a good thing because everyone is really psyched about doing a new album and
writing new material.
Yeah, and it's a good spirit in the camp these days. So,
right, I agree with that.
Feels good.
That kind of reminded me of what Michael said, that the new material sounds like Linkin Park meets Barry White.
I'm not sure. He might be referring to one of the new songs. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which song, but it's a mixture of like a lot of stuff. So
okay, that's cool. I like that. And the debut album always has, band always tries to make sure that whenever the debut album comes out, it has to, manage to strike a chord with the fans. And the first chapter very easily managed to do that. So was that sort of an expectation from you that this album is going to hit the nail right after the release?
No, I don't think so. We weren't that self-aware of that we like had the ability to write decent songs then. We were like most of the parts on that album it's very old. Actually, some of the parts I wrote when I was 15 years old.
Uh-huh.
So it's and then of course I was a huge Dream Theater fan.
Right.
That was the only thing that mattered then. So of course it has the more classic progressive metal sound.
Right.
And both in the song structure and the build-ups and the execution of everything, and it's but it's we are really proud of it. Actually, it turned out much better than we ever thought it would be. So
it's because I've been listening to prog metal for years and years, and I always felt that the first chapter lies right next to Image and Words. It's got that capability. It's not just my opinion. I'm sure there are hundreds and thousands of progressive metal fans who know how what sort of impact first chapter made. So I'm just hopeful that you guys don't restrict yourselves to that and explore like you've been always doing.
Yeah, we will definitely do it, and I think I don't think the world needs one more Images and Words album. I think it's
but the world needs second chapter.
It's a second chapter in the sound of 2015.
All right, a new generation kind of stuff.
Yeah, only dubstep and electric guitars.
Right. Now, there's an instrumental song which you guys wrote, Biosphere, where you and Aspen, created a beautiful magic. So, such rare tracks like Biosphere or even Zero, they're very rare in terms of how the entire thing is arranged. I mean, it's very difficult when a song gets hooked up to your mind, and it'll always be with you. You keep humming the rhythms, you keep humming the lyrics of that song, and these two songs have that capability in that. I mean, how easy is it for you and let's say Lasse to create such a beautiful piece of music?
It's thank you, by the way, but I'm not really sure, because it's Biosphere and Zero is they are really two different songs.
I kind of feel that it's very close to Michael. It's very, very close to Michael. Especially Zero is very close to Michael. And everywhere, whenever I have a discussion with the progressive fans, and there'll be Circus Maximus fans, they always mention Zero. Now this track is always there.
Yeah, I think because Michael and Lasse, they wrote that song. So it's Michael sings really good on that song. I think it's one of the best songs on Isolate, vocal wise. I think it's very emotional, and
right,
and you can hear his range really good, and it's a very nice song, I think.
It absolutely is. So what are the plans for this year? I mean, are you guys playing some gigs, and then as usual, you guys are going to continue working on the album. So, any gigs later this year or in the middle of the year?
I don't think that many gigs, because we tend to be a little distracted.
Okay.
When we have a lot of shows coming up, we end up like focusing on what we're going to do, which songs we're going to play. We have to rehearse, and sometimes we rehearse. Actually, it's not that much, but sometimes. But I think we're going to focus on writing the new album.
Mm-hmm.
We have some shows booked, of course, some festivals and some single gigs here and there, but it's mainly about focusing on the new album.
Right. So, like you said, 2015. So it's difficult to wait for 6 months, dude.
Yeah.
Well, so I was just discussing with Michael as well. I mean, the prospectus of a band coming to India. I don't know when is that going to happen.
That would be awesome. We would love to do it.
Have you any clue about India, or have you heard the bands who have come to India? Are you aware of that?
We have several bands that we know from Norway that have played over there.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely want to go there. We have been in touch with the festival a couple of times, and
wonderful.
But it's we haven't like closed the deal to get over there, because it's quite expensive. You have to like fly over the band with some crew and
equipment,
and it costs a lot of money. So it's really about
it's about the right deal, right?
Being able to do it. So if we're asked to do it, of course we would say yes.
Wonderful.
At once.
It'll be great. It'll be great to see you guys live. Hopefully, if not in India, but at least somewhere in Asia. I'll be glad to catch you.
Definitely.
So that's it. I would end the interview on a very short note. I had the same question to Michael, but I will just twist it for you.
Yeah.
In terms of songwriting for the album, which tune are you eagerly looking forward to unleash to your fans?
Oh.
If you have to describe that one song which yes, this is what I'm 100% sure that fans are gonna love this. Which song is that, and express that in a sentence?
Well, actually, it's I think it's a song that's similar to one of the songs on 9.
Okay.
It's quite similar to the song "Burn After Reading."
Oh, okay.
It's a little even more melodic, but it's very mellow, and it's very like a very traditional progressive song.
Wow.
With long passages and nice lyrics, and I think that one is going to be really good. I'm looking forward to be good.
It's an honor. It's an honor, Mats. Thank you again for sparing your time. You have a wonderful year ahead, and I'm just waiting for the new album, or at least a new song. Just unleash it.
We will definitely.